Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again. And this time we're going to look at a couple things. One is a game called 4D Warriors by Coreland Sega in 1985. But also, this is my 600th YouTube video. Happy, happy, joy, joy. But in celebration, we are going to take the Crazy Climber 80 DeLorean back in time to the year that the game in this video was created. And that would be 1985. And we're going to look at a bunch of events and other things that were popular in 1985. First off, we'll start with a bunch of disasters, unfortunately, in the news. One, a volcanic eruption occurred in Armero, Colombia, killing 25,000 people. Awful disaster. Also, Bangladesh is hit by a cyclone and a storm, killing 10,000. A lot of disasters in 1985. An 8.1 earthquake hits New Mexico and kills 10,000. A lot of damage. And Air India Flight 182 is blown up by a terrorist bomb, killing all aboard. Japan Airlines Flight 123 it crashes and kills a record 520 passengers. Egypt Air Flight 648 is hijacked. 56 passengers are killed in a rescue attempt. TWA Flight 847 is hijacked by Hezbollah group. One passenger dies and the hostages are released later, the remaining hostages. Terrorists fire on passengers at Rome and Vienna airports. A lot of disasters in 1985. And then Operation Wooden Leg. Israeli Air Force bombs the PLO headquarters near Tunis. On a lighter note, MS Windows debuts. First version is released 1.0, or here it's 1.01. Commodore Amiga debuts. Studio Ghibli is founded. Cherry Coke debuts. I love Cherry Coke. Unfortunately, also, New Coke debuts and is pulled shortly due to overwhelmingly negative response. Calvin and Hobbes comic strip debuts. And Elmo debuts on Sesame Street. The Nintendo Entertainment System debuts in the U.S. It was called the Famicom in Japan, and that was released in 1983 in Japan. But this was the American version. It was probably the all-time greatest home console ever. It also came with robot operating Buddy Rob. That wasn't very good, but it still survived the Nintendo system. The Live Aid celebrity concert benefits Ethiopian famine, raises millions and millions of dollars. Mikhail Gorbachev becomes president of Russia, USSR, and he and Reagan have summit chats in Geneva. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, is captured. Route 66 in America is no longer. Celebrity deaths: Rick Nelson, plane crash. Carol Wayne of the Johnny Carson show dies, drowned. Singing Nun with the hit song Dominique commits suicide. Oscar-winning actress Ruth Gordon. The very handsome actor Rock Hudson dies of AIDS. The great actor and director Orson Welles dies. His last performance was Transformers the movie the following year. Phil Silvers, funny comic actor, dies. Game show legend announcer Johnny Olson dies from The Price is Right and a lot of other Goodson Todman shows. Baseball legend Roger Maris dies. And a naturalist, gorilla studier, Diane Fossey dies. She's murdered. TV show debuts. The cable channel VH1. Alfred Hitchcock Presents, 227, Amazing Stories, Care Bears, The Colbys, Commander USA's Groovy Movies. I loved that show on the USA channel. Also, Divorce Court, The Equalizer, Golden Girls, classic show, Growing Pains, G.I. Joe, the cartoon series, Jim, Larry King Live, Mask cartoon, MacGyver, Moonlighting, Mr. Belvedere, Ray Bradbury Theater, She-Ra cartoon, Small Wonder stupid show, Spencer for Hire, Ewoks and Droids cartoon, Thundercats, The New Twilight Zone, and part of The Funtastic World of Hanna-Barbera Yogi's Treasure Hunt. The other parts were The Paw Paw Bears and Galtar the Golden Lance. And now some top albums in music from 1985. The Power Station, No Jacket Required. Whitney Houston's debut. Boy, she had short hair there. Vox Humana, Brothers in Arms, Heart, Knee Deep in the Hoopla, How to Be a Zillionaire, loved ABC, and now number one hit songs, Like a Virgin, I Want to Know What Love Is, Careless Whisper, Can't Fight This Feeling, One More Night, We Are the World, Crazy for You, Don't You Forget About Me, Everything She Wants, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Heaven, Susudio, View to a Kill, Every Time You Go Away, Shout, The Power of Love, St. Elmo's Fire, Money for Nothing, Oh Sheila, Take on Me, Saving All My Love for You, Part-Time Lover, Miami Vice Theme, We Built This City, and I nicknamed it We Milked This Titty, Separate Lives, Say You, Say Me. Now let's look at some big-time movies from 1984. Starting with the movie that I got the Crazy Climber 80 DeLorean from, Back to the Future. Rambo First Blood Part 2. Rocky 4. If I could change, and you could change, we all could change. The Color Purple, Oscar winner. Out of Africa, multiple Oscar winner. The Goonies. The very stupid, weird science. I did not like that movie. Cocoon. Jewel of the Nile. Witness. Spies Like Us. Kiss of the Spider Woman. Pritzi's Honor. The Trip to Bountiful. Runaway Train. St. Elmo's Fire. Pretty stupid. After Hours. American Ninja. Agnes of God. Brazil. Day of the Dead, Friday the 13th Part 5, Fright Night, good movie, Jagged Edge, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Mask, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Ron, great foreign movie, Reanimator, good movie, Teen Wolf, kind of stupid, View to a Kill, substandard, James Bond, The Breakfast Club, and the funny Return of the Living Dead, funny movie. And now we're going to move on to sports from 1985. First off, Super Bowl 19. San Francisco 49ers, Joe Montana and company defeat the Miami Dolphins 38-16. Famous commercial with Joe and Dan Marino over Diet Pepsi. The Kansas City Royals, they beat the St. Louis Cardinals 4-3 in the World Series. The Lakers beat the Celtics 4-2 for the NBA title. Wayne Gretzky and the Edmonton Oilers win the Stanley Cup over the Flyers in 5 games. Golf, Bernard Lancer wins the Masters. Andy North wins the U.S. Open. Sandy Lyle wins the British Open. And Hubert Green wins the PGA Championship. Well, that was our look at the year 1985. And now we're going to look at our game 40 Warriors, created by Coreland Sega in 1985. I think this was requested by YouTube user KO Freaks. But I had never seen or heard of this game, and it is not particularly good. It resembles Mag Max, if you've ever played that game, also from 1985, in that you can switch back and forth to different playing fields. And there's no end to this, as far as I can tell. There are some things that might happen to you or you might have to do, and I don't know how to do them, for the most part, in that you can go to a different dimension and take on totally different enemies, and you have to destroy a boss in order to go back to the main area. But you have a regular shot, and you can get special weapons by destroying certain enemies and picking up coins or certain icons. You can get like a boomerang shot. You have a limited supply, and you'll see a counter showing how many you have left. You can collect up to 99. And there will sometimes be a monster on top of the quote-unquote fence, preventing you from going to the other side. See, any other time when he's not there, you can just go up to the top of the screen and reappear on the other side and take on different enemies. And on that other side, these things coming from behind you, they can take you to another dimension. But once you go to the other side, then you have this boss that you can destroy. And if you shoot him enough, he'll go over the fence, and you'll have to go back over the fence to face him again. He has this shield. But on this side, you move up very slowly, so I would not recommend being on this side more than you need to be. Switch over when you can, when that monster isn't in the way. But yeah, it's really stupid. You can't go up very fast. You go very slow. Well, there's that boss guy. I just need to shoot him enough, and then I'll get like 3,000 points for destroying him. Or he'll chicken out and go back over the fence, and I'll have to go back over and face him later. I can go back over. Yeah, sometimes there's like, I guess, hidden ways to get to the different dimensions. Touch any enemy and you're dead, or their shots or whatever. But when you go to a, here, I just wrote them. When you go to a different dimension, I'll show you a couple ways to get there. Really, one way is to be caught by those things coming from behind. They won't kill you. They will transport you to a different dimension. Now, those little ball-headed guys, they will move a certain way, so you have to be careful, or they can run right into you. Crap. But those crystal ball thingies that float up and down, they will drop coins, and the coins can give you those extra weapons, and you use a secondary button to fire them, and you'll see the counter at the bottom. Now I have 3 of a certain type of shot. There are boomerangs, multiple boomerangs. Oops, I died. I don't care, because this game is crap. Really, yeah, this game isn't very good, and you have no idea, really, what triggers some of the things that will take you to a different dimension. And we will see those things later. Like I said, one of them is to run backwards into those floating things. Oops. Game over. I've never seen or heard of this game, and that's pretty good, because it's not a... I mean, that's a good thing, because it's not a very good game. I'll put in my initials here. I'll play enough times for you to see a couple of the dimensions, and they're often very unfair. Sometimes... Well, there will always be some kind of boss or something you'll need to shoot enough, and when you do, you'll be able to go back to your original dimension. It's not a very good game, and the soundtrack is not very interesting. Soundtracks do change a little bit sometimes when you go to a different dimension. I don't know how that got triggered. This thing bites down on me. And I go to this place where the enemies just swarm me, and I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Fuck you. But every time you die, you lose all the weapons that you had, and all the numbers of shots, the amount of shots that you could have fired. Well, I'm gonna skip over here and show you. Yeah, you have to shoot that hole enough, and then you will go back to this area. And that arrow just indicates that you can jump over the fence. You can do that anytime when that monster isn't there. Like he's right there. There's another optional shot. You get a fireball with your regular shot. And then later on there will be these weird hand things that come out of these little tiny dots. And you die if you touch the tiny dot. Absolutely lame. Yeah, screw you. Screw this game in general. It really sucks. We saw one of the other dimensions in the attract mode with these weird eyeball creatures, but every time you go to a different dimension, you have to destroy a boss, and then you'll be able to get back to your original dimension. Here in this original dimension, you hop over the walls to keep facing this boss guy, and all the bosses are worth 3,000. Oh, no, maybe some of them are like 5,000. Yeah, watch out for those ball-headed guys, the way they move. It's kind of tricky. I would just recommend, like, weaving up and down in, like, maybe the bottom 2/3 of the screen or something. Oh, and here's the place that the dimension that running into those wall things will take you. You can shoot those head guys and get coins out of them. Oops, can't touch those blue guys. Barfing up red stuff. That is the crappy 4D Warriors by Coreland Sega in 1985. Put in my initials and call it quits. Screw this. But that was 4D Warriors by Coreland Sega in 1985. crappy game that I'd never seen or heard of until recently. But I hope you enjoyed that, and our look through 1985. This is Crazy Climber 80 saying thanks for watching and sharing my 600th YouTube video. Comment on what memories you have of 1985. Well, I will catch you later with another video. See ya, folks. Bye-bye.